Okay.
Wanda. Yes, there we go. So, Steve, I'm going to hand it over to you.
I thought you were starting it.
No, you're going to tell everybody this meeting's being recorded. Okay.
Yeah, it's being recorded automatically.
Okay.
Meredith set it up that way.
Very good, very good. So welcome everybody. This is our third day already of our World Interfaith Harmony fortnight, because we've been blessed with having a number of people who would like to share their perspective on our theme this year, living wisdom and contemplative practices. So today's session is with Ram Mohan Rai from Delhi, India, and he is going to be talking about living wisdom from a Gandhi perspective. So who is Ram? He's got a bio about this long, and I think he'll be able to tell you a little bit more about where his interest lies, where his passion lies during his talk. But for today's purposes, he is the secretary of the Gandhi Global Family. So the Gandhi Global Family is not just in India, but it is international. And I think he'll be able to tell us a little bit more about the Gandhi Global Family as well later. He's also the secretary of the Hali Panipati Trust, which is based in Haryana, also in India. So without further ado, Ram and I we first met in Delhi last year, just about this time. And then last summer in June, we met in the Netherlands. And there he introduced me to the Gandhi family. So please go ahead, Ram, and tell us a little bit more about Gandhi's perspective on living wisdom.
Thank you, Morgana. Dear sisters and brothers, first of all, I am very thankful to my sister Morgana, who is always oblige me to call me in such meetings for delivering my point of view, mostly on Gandhian perspective. As you know, Mahatma Gandhi was the apostle of non-violence, truth, not for India, but for all over the world. He fought our freedom struggle with the weapons of non-violence. Even sometimes when he found that some violence entered in freedom struggle, he even withdrew it when the struggle was on the peak. In 1923, he led the struggle of non-cooperation movement in India. And when it was in peak, some miscreants or some over-enthusiastic persons entered in police station to rescue their friends who were in the struggle. They were become violated and they started to beat policemen and even burned the police station. When this news went to Mahatma Gandhi, he thought that his method of non-violence is not this which happened in this moment. And on that day, he withdrew the non-violence, he withdrew the civil disobedience movement. So Mahatma Gandhi always thought that you could not achieve the good thing without the method of truth. And if you got things without truth, it is a sin. So he led our national movement with the weapon of non-violence, truth, and peace. And you see, after attaining our freedom in India, this our method, this our way of struggle got inspired to many countries. You see the Martin Luther King Jr., Nelson Mandela, and others who were in fighting with their liberation. They adopted this method and they achieved somehow success in their struggle. My topic of today is living wisdom from a Gandhi perspective. Mahatma Gandhi, born into a ruling class family, remained steadfast in fulfilling the promises he made to his mother before pursuing his education in England. While practicing as a barrister in South Africa, he actively fought for human rights, challenging racial discrimination and injustice. Upon returning to his homeland, he in 1915 dressed in traditional Indian attire. He dedicated himself to the mission of liberating India and its people from all forms of slavery, political, social, economic, religious, educational, and cultural. Gandhiji's life and philosophy are best understood through the 11 vows he upheld until his last breath, guiding his principal personal conduct and shaping his vision for a free and self-reliant India. That is, he formulated 11 vows, Ekadash Varta, as guiding principles for his personal life and the ashram community. These vows were meant to cultivate self-discipline, spiritual growth, and service to humanity. Here is a brief look at the each vow and its meaning. First, truth, satya, commitment to truth in thought, word, and action. Encourages honesty, transparency, and integrity in life. Second, non-violence. In his word, ahimsa, not causing harm to any living being in thought, word, or deed. You see, not being in thought extend beyond physical violence to include love, patience, and forgiveness. Third, non-possession, asangraha, non-possession. He always called not to collect many things, which is not essential for their life. Gandhiji always used to say that this nature can fulfill your all requirement, not your greed. Non-possession, avoidance of material greed and attachment, promotes simple living and contentment with minimal needs. Fourth, non-stealing, asteya, not taking anything that does not belong to oneself, includes avoiding exploitation and respecting others' right. Fifth is brahmacharya, celibacy, control of desires, practicing self-restraint in all senses, not just sexual abstinence, focuses on purity of mind, speech, and action. Sixth, control of palate, aswada, eating simple, healthy food and avoiding indulgence, aims to discipline bodily carvings and strengthen self-control. 7. Fearlessness, abhaya. Fearlessness is one of the major, strongest point of non-violence. Most of the strongest ingredient of non-violence. Overcoming fear and standing up for justice and truth. Encourages moral courage and facing life's challenges with faith. 8. Equality of religion. Sarva dharma samanatva. Gandhiji used to say that he was a traditional, spiritual, and mythological Hindu, so that he respect Christians, respect Muslims, Bouddhas, and every religion as he pay respect to his own religion. Gandhiji, one of the disciples, Vinoba Bhave, said that there are two types of people. One is he wale, means who always said that they are Hindus, they are Muslims. Firstly, they are Hindus and accept it, nothing else. Another persons are those said, we are not Hindus, we are not Christians, we don't faith in any religion. But on the contrary, Gandhiji said that we are Christians, we are Muslims, we are two boths, and we are every religious trust in us, respecting all religions and their core values. Because core values of every religion is truth. Jesus Christ said, God is truth. Mahatma Gandhi said, truth is God. Promotes religious harmony and unity. 9. Swadeshi, self-reliance and use of indigenous goods. Using locally made product to promote economic self-sufficiency. Encourages love for one's country and sustainable living. Gandhiji, firstly, he started the movement for Swadeshi, means use locally made goods. You see, when we were fighting struggle against British imperialism, that the one of the main thing was that our rulers looted India from their products. But Gandhiji gave a started a movement for Swadeshi, that we made clothes with our own products, with our own cottons. So Gandhiji always said, encourages love for one's country and sustainable living. 10th is removal of untouchability. As you know, I think many of you know that except India, there is no any country where the society is divided in caste, upper caste, lower caste. And in lower caste, people are living in a very, very miserable conditions. And upper caste people even do not touch them. And they now it is improving, but it was a time when they touched the lower caste people. They thought that they have diverted from their religion's faith. Gandhiji's started movement against the untouchability, and he formed an organization, namely Harijan Sevak Sangh, means servants of untouchables. Even he usually lived in Harijan Basti, means where that, that so-called untouchables lived. Gandhiji always said that we cannot get freedom without eradication of untouchability. Removal of untouchability, rejecting caste discrimination, and treating all people equally, emphasizes dignity of labor and social equality. 11th, service, Sarva Seva, saving humanity selflessly, especially the underprivileged, encouraging compassion, humanity, and dedication to others. Those who shaped Gandhi's life and principle and were central to his philosophy of satyagraha, non-violence, resistance. Mahatma Gandhi dedicated his life to the service of humanity. He often emphasized that while striving for India's independence through non-violent means, his ultimate goal was to transform the entire world into a land of non-violent and compassionate people. Today, despite humanity's remarkable ability to conquer the earth, space, and other planets, the global community remains entangled in five self created crises, often referred to as the 5G problems. 1. Globalization. Second, global economic depression. Third, global terrorism. Fourth, global warming. Fifth, global population explosion. Mahatma Gandhi foresaw these consequences of modern industrialization. Modern industrial civilization and warned its dangers, calling it devil's civilization. However, his warnings were largely ignored. As a result, despite immense technological advancements, humanity now finds itself struggling to discover sustainable solar. With this, I want to say today, before this August gathering, and I think that we have solution to the whole world only by way of this 11 O's created by Mahatma Gandhi. When we said that these O's were created by Mahatma Gandhi, it means this is created by our ancient books, our ancient rishis, our ancient saints, Lord Buddha, Lord Mahavira, Jesus Christ, Prophet Muhammad. These are all teachings which were adopted by Mahatma Gandhi to serve this country and to liberate our country. And he gave this message to the whole world that if you want to liberate yourself from these all evils, problems, you come to the path of forgiveness, non-violence, and truth. I again thankful to my sister Morgana, who always paid love to me and always called to me on this online meeting, and I also feel that this is a family of those people who work selflessly for the welfare of the community and to serve the community, to serve the whole world for a peaceful world. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, I remember we had the fantastic conversations in Utrecht, of course. But today it's wonderful listening again. I'm wondering, what would you recommend as daily practices? I was looking at, we had a meeting, of course, last year for the International Day of Peace. And I remember finding many of the quotes, of course, from Gandhi. I felt at the time that for me, one of the daily practices would be to look at some of the quotes. So I've got on screen at the moment some of the quotes that I found were incredibly inspiring. Which do you think that is also a good way to I mean, how would you see daily practice? And what would you recommend as a daily practice?
As Gandhiji said, commitment to truth in thought, word, and action, and non-violence, non causing harm to any living being in thought, word, or deed. And I think if we adopt these two vows out of 11, because except India, no one has problem of caste discrimination, untouchability. So some vows are for the Indian conditions, but for the whole world, I think these two vows give the answer for their problem. I practiced as legal practitioner about 40 years in my town and even in our central capital, New Delhi. Gandhiji was also bar at law. He had also worked as barrister in South Africa. The general impression of a lawyer is that he's totally speak lie and collect money from any means. But I think that if we practice with these two vows, we can earn, we can live with simplicity and with integrity. And I think that God also bless us with these in any of condition, in any of circumstances, in any of hindrances, when we live at the desire of the God. Thank you.
Thank you. I've just got one more slide. Of course, when there were many tributes to Gandhi, I remember you pointed out some of the tributes. Can you actually see them online at the moment?
Yeah.
Yes. What do you think people would, what's his legacy today? How would you describe his legacy, Ram? We see here that Nelson Mandela, he emphasized on morality at a time when science, technology, and capitalism made it insignificant. He sought the good of as many people as possible and emphasized the importance of self instead of selfishness. So what's your favorite? What would be your tribute today?
Pardon again, said.
I was saying how you mentioned ahimsa, non-violence, but what would be your tribute? What would be your if somebody had no idea who Mahatma Gandhi was, how would you describe him?
Gandhiji, ahimsa means non-violence. As I try to describe, not causing harm to any living being in thought, word, or deed. Gandhiji started a Quit India movement in 1942, and he gave the slogan "Do or Die." Means either we go ahead with non-violence or to die. We will not withdraw our steps. And you know that after this movement, after 5 years, we attained freedom. Many of people were beaten. Many of sent to the prisons, but they never used any method of non-violence. They tolerated all the atrocities and became a strongest person. You see, ahimsa, non-violence, is not possible for a weak person. A strong person of body, heart, and thought can apply the method of non-violence. We will not resist with violence. We will tolerate every atrocities and will stand on our faith. So this is the message of Mahatma Gandhi. And this message was totally adopted by the Nelson Mandela, and he spent many years, even I think most of his life, in prison, but not used any such step which was used by Mao Zedong in China, even in Russia or in some other countries. And even I want to say one thing, that Ho Chi Minh of Vietnam also said that I got this type of message very late. so that he adopted non-violence. But if was in touch with the ideas of Mahatma Gandhi, he adopted this non-violence way of struggle. Many of people, many of renowned people, even Che Guevara, even Ho Chi Minh, many countries. You see, Martin Luther King Jr. They all accepted, not accepted, but adopted the way of non-violence, and you see that they got success in their struggle. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm putting a little bit of something you wrote to me in the chat, and perhaps we can talk about it. I'm going to finish the slideshow. There are some I can put some of these links in the chat a bit later. So I'm just going to stop sharing. There we are. I'm back again, and I'm just going to write in the chat the words you wrote to me, and I'm just going to read them again as well, because this is what you wrote to me, and I thought it was extremely important. You said that living wisdom from a Gandhi perspective offers timeless guidance for navigating the complexities of modern life by embracing truth, non-violence, simplicity, forgiveness, justice, and inner peace. We can cultivate a life that reflects our highest values. As we strive to embody these principles, we not only enrich our own lives, but also contribute to creating a more compassionate and just world for all. In a time when division often overshadows unity, Gandhi's teachings remind us that the path to wisdom lies in love, understanding, and an unwavering commitment to our shared humanity. I think that's really important, because I often say to people, we don't have to be religious. We don't have to follow teachings of, when we start thinking and absorbing the examples of people around us, that's when it begins to start living. So this is why we chose the theme this time, living wisdom. It was very nice to be able to remember also the hardships that Mahatma Gandhi went through. I was saying to people yesterday, my family come from the northwest of England, and of course that's the Gandhi did go to Manchester. Can you tell us a little bit more about his struggle? What were the things he really wanted to share with people? Because that was, I mean, it was amazing that we came all the way from India to Manchester. What was his message to the people of England at the time? Can you remember?
Yeah, yes. He always said, not in Manchester, but in our country also, that we are not against the Britishers or British people. We are against the ruler of that country who is exploiting our resources and our all the means. So that he said that we do not want, that Britishers, will leave our country. We only want that this rule of exploitation or loot be finished.
Mhm. And
And
those
even
words are true to more than ever today, aren't they? Because you were just mentioning the five the 5 Gs. Just to recap: globalization, global
global
economic
economic
depression,
depression,
global
global
terrorism,
terrorism,
global
global
warming,
warming,
and
and global popular population explosion.
yes, yes.
Mahatma Gandhi always used to say that this nature can fulfill every need of anybody, but it cannot fulfill any greed to anyone. And you see these all 5G problems are the creation of greed
Mm,
in everywhere. You see, in everywhere. We want globalization, but we restrain the people of other country to enter in our boundaries. When we say that we believe in globalization, so why not? The whole world become one. So Mahatma Gandhi gave this slogan, not Jai Hind, not victory of the India. He always said, victory of the world. Victory of the world means victory of the people of the world. Once he said, who is Bharat Mata? Who is Mother India? This land, these mountains, these rivers, these trees, these jungles. He said, no, this is not Mother India. Mother India is people of India,
mm,
the people who lives here, the people who are living here under very miserable conditions, the people who have no bread to eat, no place to get shelter, no clothes to wear. So how we can say that this is Mother India? This is, so he said, always said that we want to get freedom, not only for serving our country. He said India want freedom to serve the whole world, to the whole community, the whole humanity of the world. Thank you.
there we go. Unmuting. I've just put in the chat. We've got some minutes left. What we normally do is we have this session for about an hour, but after a certain time we will stop the recording so that people can actually share their comments. But today, if you'd like to share your comments now, or you say rather I'd leave it till the open forum, because of course the open forum isn't recorded. But has anybody got a question for Ram right now, or would you like to make a comment? Margaret, when you hear about Gandhi, do you know a lot about Gandhi philosophy?
So, one thing I was thinking about that I find interesting is when I was studying interfaith work in seminary, when I went to seminary, the views that were presented were along a spectrum, with Gandhi's view of interfaith being at one end of the spectrum, which that there may be different paths, but there is the same goal. And the other end of the spectrum of theologians that I was studying, like Mark Heim especially, would probably be at the other end of the spectrum, is that there are not only different paths, that there are different goals.
Mm.
And so I'm really curious about perhaps your thoughts on that, because in the interfaith work that I do, we very much try not to say that all traditions are the same or all traditions are one. We try to uphold every tradition as being its own unique understanding of the divine. So I'm just wondering what your thoughts are on the spectrum of there are different paths, but all the same goal, to, yeah, there are different paths, but there are different goals as well. But how do we all live in harmony and in compassion with one another?
Gandhiji used to say that truth is God and only one God. And we can achieve the way to God by different methods. By different methods. Ekam sad vipra bahuda vadanti. Truth is one, God is one. But the saints and other scholars tell us the different ways, but to achieve one goal. So this is the way of practice of Mahatma Gandhi. In the evening or morning, all every day, he used to assemble all his disciples and other people in a prayer meeting. He prayed all the religion's faith. Firstly, Hindu prayer, then Quran prayer, Muslim prayer, then Christian's prayer, then Buddha prayer. All the people, either they are Hindu, Muslim, Sikhs, Isai, Christians, or anybody, they all sat together and recited the sermons, mantras, and teachings of every religion, so that he was able to say that he was a mythological Hindu, but he respect all religions as he had respect to his own religion. It is true that everyone has different traditions, different conditions, but we have different problems. As I earlier said, that except India, there is no caste system, there is no untouchability, not in the shape of color, but in our country, We have caste system. We have same color. We have same language. But we have discrimination. So this is different condition. This is different traditions. But he started his movement with these, with his constructed works, means shramdan, service, and eradication of untouchability. And these all are parts of his struggle for independence. He usually said that we cannot achieve the independence without having untouchability, without, if you have untouchability, if you have discrimination in shape of sex, religion, race, color, we cannot achieve freedom. Once he said that even we can ignore the freedom. We can ourselves decline the freedom. But we cannot have untouchability, discrimination. We want freedom with eradication, removal of all these evils. If we are not one, if we are not equal, so we cannot get freedom. And he said that he didn't want to get freedom. Thank you.
So thank you again. Steve, I would like to hand the microphone over to you now, because you, as my RISE partner, and also Margaret, of course, we've done ever such a lot in the RISE sector. But would you like to just give a little bit of an idea of what's happening tomorrow?
Okay.
On day 4.
Yes, we're up to day 4. So tomorrow we'll have Cynthia Nielsen will be our guest, and she will be sharing about Qigong as a spiritual practice and as a method for building resilience as we struggle to maintain our center and maintain peace and hope and love within our hearts. And her form, form of Qigong that she teaches is very user friendly, very easy for beginners to use. And most or all of her session will be teaching us how to do Qigong while sitting in chairs. So it's, I would really highly encourage anyone who's interested in Qigong or is curious about and has never experienced it to join us tomorrow and see what it's about. In some ways, it's sort of in between. It has some aspects of yoga and also Tai Chi, if you're not familiar with it. But as I said, this will be a very beginner-friendly session.
Sounds amazing. So I hope we'll see each other tomorrow. I would like to also remind everybody that if for some reason you can't make it, our recording is going to be made. So We will remind everybody that the recordings are available. I will remind everybody to register. I noticed that some people still, I don't think they realise, Steve, this is something we need to just make very clear, that registration is, you get a link for the whole 14 sessions. Well, in between times it's more like, how many is it now? 11 sessions. So we'll put a little bit more information about how people can register, because as we know in marketing, promote. Marketing's everything. So but we will keep in touch, and of course all of the sessions are recorded, so we can all look back. So it'll be nice to look back on this session. And of course, if anybody has any questions, then you can always send us an email, or get in touch with us individually. As I say, we're trying to help, well, create a community where people feel safe. I think this is also one of the things we want to really enhance with these sessions, that often people feel a bit uncomfortable about talking about things. That's why I say, after, when we finish this, we will stay open, but we will be stopping the recording now. And please stay with us if you'd like to share your thoughts. Margaret, would you like to share your thoughts already?
I just wanted to remind everybody about the Harmony Journal, that is
Yes.
excellent
Yes.
to share your thoughts or your questions, or to continue to engage around all of these phenomenal offerings.
Yes.
So if you click on that link that's in the chat, that will take you right there.
Yeah, I was just thinking that I'll put some of the Gandhi quotes, part of the presentation I had. I think some of his quotes are incredibly important, especially the one I was just looking at about forgiveness. And of course, forgiveness is also forgiving yourself. People sort of say, I feel guilty, but how do we actually forgive ourselves? I think this is also incredibly important. So Steve, would you like to, what's your last words?
So, well, I forgot to mention that our session tomorrow will be starting 1 hour later. So it'll be at
Okay.
8 a.m. Pacific time rather than 7 a.m. And also I have a question. I see you're excited, Leah. So am I. I do have a question. Do you have, Ram, do you have any suggestions for a good like beginner's book if one wants to learn more about Gandhi? And also, and well, this can go for anyone, if you have any books to recommend, or I'm also curious about, is there a book out there with quotes from Gandhi? Because I haven't found one when I've been in bookstores.
Yes, sure. Gandhiji, one of the best book, his autobiography. And he named that book, My Experiences with Truth. Once someone asked a question that what is your message? Gandhiji turned back that my life is my message.
Mm.
So his best book, his autobiography. There are many books on his life, but many books, hundreds, or I say thousands of books. So I suggest this book. I am very happy to say that I have planned to come to your country, Netherlands, in the first week of April. So I will try to bring some copies of book, his autobiography, and if you want to take it, I will present it to the person who want it.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Thank you. So on that happy note, Steve, I think we're comfortable now in closing the meeting. As I say, just stay online if you want to ask any questions more of a personal nature. But Steve, I'll hand it over now to you to conclude the session.
Okay, so I'm trying to turn off the recording. So it was automatically recording this time, and it looks like I don't have the option to turn this off, actually.
If you go to record, you'll see it'll say either to cloud or to your computer. The recording is actually, so unfortunately, some of these AI, they actually record so they can make the transcript. It's not actually recording, it's actually listening to an audio. So it's very confusing.
Okay, because Merida said that it was set up to automatically record.
Okay. Okay.
So,
Well, I
well,
suggest
hopefully
then
that's
we conclude the meeting
yes.
and say goodbye to everybody. And of course, just check the Charter for Compassion websites, also Interfaith Alignment. We're working, as I say, very closely with Margaret. And of course, do add to the Harmony Journal. So thank you very, very much, everybody. And see you at the next session.
Yes,
Thank
this
you.
is wonderful. Thank you so much, Ram.
Thank you.
Yes.
Oh, there's Kathy. Hello, Kathy. How are you? You want to say anything, Kathy? How are you doing?
I'm just on. Fine. Thank you.
Oh, Steve, I can stop the recording. Do you want me to stop the recording?
Yeah, if you can stop it. Yeah, I just tried and it stopped what
Okay, I'll try
like a
anyway.
1 minute recording. So why don't you go ahead and try it?
Yeah. So it stopped at my end anyway.
Okay, yeah,
Can
it's
you
still
see the
showing
red
up on
light
my
now? It's still, as I say, what happens is that the AI, it's like a dictation, it's the audio, so that's how they get the summary notes, because they have to have some sort of recording to be able to make the transcript. So so Kathy, how are you?
Fine. Thank you.
So whereabouts are you from?
Houghton, Michigan, in the USA.
Right, the Great
Yeah.
Lakes.
Yeah, the Great
You look
Lakes.
very summery. Is it very summery with you at the moment?
Yes, it is. Yes, we've got quite a lot of snow. As a matter of fact, we have a winter carnival coming up this week.
Right. Yes, of course, it is carnival time in the
Yeah.
Netherlands. Leah is also in the Netherlands. What we said, below the rivers, we have these huge rivers coming into the North Sea from Germany and Belgium and what have you. And below the rivers, we have a huge, basically Catholic population, and they just go absolutely crazy when it's carnival. All these people on the trains, you know, say, wow. In the north,
Yeah.
we're a little bit more, bit more. What would you call it, Leah? A bit more sober,
more
Yeah,
reserved.
yeah,
bit more reserved, yeah, but more down to earth. But in the south, they go absolutely crazy when it comes to carnival.
That's
So
funny. Well, we have a university here. It's called Michigan Tech University, Technological University, and the students make snow sculptures. And so they're really amazing. They started a month ago. And then they also have statues that are overnighters, like it's a 24-hour thing. But the month-long ones are really coming along. And Wednesday they do the judging. So it's kind of fun.
Sounds cool.
Yeah. They do there's a lot of hockey up here and ice skating and cross country skiing and sled dog races. So
Sounds
yeah, we have a lot
amazing.
going on. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, where Leah and I are actually, it's quite wooded, but a lot of the Netherlands is actually below sea level, so it's very flat. But that means that when they have natural ice, the
Oh,
Dutch just go
yes.
completely bonkers. So the Dutch are either born with a bicycle on their hand or a pair of skates.
Mhm.
Wow.
So yeah. So
It sounds
we
like
have had a
fun.
bit of natural ice this weekend, so people really they just love it, and
Yeah.
Mm.
it is
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go now.
Yeah.
Thank you again, Steve, for getting the meeting, the technical stuff sorted, and thank you, Leah, for also
Sure.
joining us again.
Thank you.
We
Yes.
will send out the reminders for tomorrow, and so we've still got.
All right. Thank you so much. This is
You're very
lovely.
welcome. You're very
Thank
welcome.
you.
Blessings.
Okay, blessings to you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.